Hello and welcome. It is Siona from Honouring ME Crochet and the Hooked on Crochet Club, and I'm coming live to give you a bit of a tour of the clubhouse of the Hooked on Crochet Club. I've just spent 5 days with a square a day challenge, which we run a few times a year, and our doors are now open, so I thought I would give a little bit of a tour. Been so exciting to see everyone learning and developing new skills over this past week. In 5 days, we've seen people who haven't picked up a hook before are actually crocheting now and making squares. Others that have not been able to read a pattern can now read a pattern. We've got people who could only do basic stitches that are now able to do all sorts of tricky stitches. So we had 5 squares. So we started with our traditional granny square. And then we had our circle to square. And then we had our cluster flower. So you can see there's all different stitches they've learned. Our popcorn, which you could do with colours or on its own. And then the treble flower. So many squares that everyone has learnt in this past 5 days. And I'm hoping that we can continue on this learning journey by becoming members of the Hooked on Crochet Club, which quite a number of you have already. So our early bird joining bonus has gone, but that doesn't mean that you're missing out on anything, because the best is yet to come once you become a member. So I've gone live in a few places today. So if you are here live, do say hello. And if you are watching the replay as well, say replay, hashtag replay, and let me know that you are watching, because I'm excited. So I'm going to cover, I won't keep it too long today, but I do want to cover some things that show you what goes on in the Hooked on Crochet Club. So let me share. So some of you probably don't even know what this Hooked on Crochet Club is. So it's an online membership where I teach people new crochet skills each and every month. And the way we do that is by providing projects that help build on crochet skills that you have. So we've got a success path, so people will start out as a dabbler and they may move up into becoming a designer, and there's stages in between. And everything that we deliver in this club helps build on skills. So the way we do it is with the 2 projects and a square every month. So those of you that have enjoyed the challenge, good news is you get a new square every month, and there is actually a back catalogue of 3 years worth of projects as well for everyone to play with. So you can pick and choose amongst a much broader range of projects. Now every month we go with the theme of texture, rounds or rows, because one thing I've learned is that there are some people that only know how to work in rows. Some people only know how to work in rounds. Some people don't even know what texture is. So I have a new theme that we explore every month so that you can play with those. And I'll just show you with some of the projects, if I make myself a little bigger here. So for example, this one, I believe, where are we now? June. I think this was May's project. So project 1 was a coaster or a scrubby. So this one comes with a written pattern and a pre-recorded video, which all our project 1s do. So if you can't read a pattern, it's okay, because there is a pre-recorded video there, and the aim is that it will help you learn to read the pattern, because you've got the written pattern with it. So you're not just consuming videos and not knowing what it is that you've done. And you've also got the written pattern to refer back to if you get a little bit lost. So that's project 1. And then we could turn it into project 2, which I have to say, this hat, I've been wearing it a lot this winter. It's been my little go-to hat. So if you're comfortable and you get practiced enough with the stitches that are in here, because this one uses the front and back post double crochet, then you can move on to making a hat. Now another example is this blanket. So that one was to the theme of rounds. This one was to the theme of rows. It might be a bit grubby because I've given it to the cats. So this one was a bit bigger of a small project because it only used the basic stitches, but it was a filet style. And I know Tanya in our clubhouse has made lots of these ones. She likes this one, and even added her own border to these most recent ones. And then there's a much bigger version. So if you're comfortable making the smaller one, and I even made it as a washcloth size, but I believe I've given it away to someone because I don't have it here. So there's the rows. Now this one was a texture one as well. So this one used popcorn stitch, but it also had the reverse popcorn, which I discovered making this one. So this was a little wall hanging, which still hangs on my wall. And if you got comfortable and understood this pattern repeat here, then you could make a poncho. So this one's made from a Lola, so it's just a great big rectangle that's then turned into a poncho. So that's the way we've worked with that one for project 1. This one I believe is, this one was rose as well. This one I incorporate texture in. I love working with texture. So the first pattern on this one was a soap scrubby, handy Christmas gift or other teacher gift, whatever you want. Or you can even use it to put your glasses in if you made it a little bit longer, fit your glasses. And then if you're ready and enjoyed that pattern, then you could make a top. And with the top, like I've made it to fit me, but it is a top like all the instructions that I give in all my patterns. Hello, Jody. I do actually allow, I include instructions so that you can adjust it to suit you and to even make something else altogether. This one would make a cool blanket too, actually. And then here's another example, another hat, but we made it into a matching bag. So this one was also to the theme of rounds. This one's a cute little bag, one of my favorites. So there's just some ideas. And we also have the square every month. So the square is actually designed to give you a little project that you can learn to design with. It's a way to move into designing, because you can design so many things with squares. What else do we have? Sorry, get on the right screen. So every month as well, we have a chance to win yarn. So everyone that joins now, the challenge for this month is actually drawn on Wednesday. I am considering bumping it a week since we've got an extra week, but I probably won't. So right from Wednesday, you could win yarn. So we have a simple challenge. This month's challenge, I believe, is to tell us what their favorite yarn is in the stash. Helps everyone get familiar with other yarn that they want to play with maybe. But by winning, you get an opportunity to win $50 worth of yarn from Bella May Yarns. So Bella May Yarns, oh, you can't see. The Lolas that are in my, saying my account needs to affiliate. Oh, I don't know what that means either. Not sure on that one, Jody. Looks like you're watching through YouTube, so I don't know. I will maybe have to look at that one later. Well, you get a chance to win $50 worth of yarn. I do cover postage as well, so you won't have to pay for your postage. This is actually going to go up because the price of the clubhouse. So right now, if you join this time when I have the doors open, you lock in this price forever. As long as you stay a member, you don't leave and come back, because the price will go up. And with that means the value of this challenge is going to go up as well. So something else to look forward to in the coming months. So this is worth 2 months worth of membership if you actually join and you win. And I've had members that have won more than once. So very easy challenge and one that's always fun. And that is always drawn on week 4. So the last or the 4th Wednesday of the month. This month we've got 5. So we've got an extra lesson this month. Oops, I went the wrong way. So Hook and Learn. So every week inside the Hooked on Crochet Club, we have a live tutorial. Now, some of these are scheduled and, well, they're all scheduled now. So the week 1 is usually something related to the current projects that you may need an extra bit of lesson with in like more detailed lesson live. Week 2 is a granny square inspiration project. So on my blog every week, you will see that I put a granny square idea, a project to make with it inside Hooked on Crochet Club, excuse me. I show how it was made so members can decide to make that themselves. Week 3 is always a live tutorial of the square. So whatever the square is for that month, I sit and talk through and we make the entire square together. Or you can just watch me make it. You don't have to work with me. I know I work a little bit faster than some of those of you that are beginners. And then week 4 is the challenge draw and a yarn review. So we have yarn reviews every month as well. Now, on top of that, if there is something that you need specific help with, I will add that to the lesson so that you get that one-on-one. But I will also, if needed, I will create a separate video to explain what it is that you're stuck with, which I have done a couple of times as well. So it depends on what members need. At the moment, a lot of our members are closer to being designers, so not so many add-on tutorials, but it's always an option every single week, and I love to give those extra lessons. That's what I'm here for. And it doesn't have to be a Clubhouse pattern that you ask for help for either. Whatever project you're stuck on, I can help. And then we have an accountability post, because what we find is as we get further into being, let me just change the screen here as well, further along our success path, so we become more we love crochet more. We end up with lots of whips. We end up with things that we need to be doing and we're not. I know my whip pile at the moment is getting a little bit out of control. So we have an accountability post. So if there's something that you want to finish or you want to achieve this month, maybe it's something you want to learn, then you can add it to that post. And I come back through towards the end of the month and I just check in to see if you've done it or not. And we're seeing members get through a lot more of their projects because they know that someone is going to be making them accountable. I know Heidi's one of them. She's had a bag. Remember back in February, she had a bag that she really, really wanted to finish, and she managed to get it done in the nick of time at the end of the month. And I know she's on a blanket now as well. And I had my own accountability there because I'm being accountable this year, for every single month using up a hand-dyed yarn. And every quarter using up one of my Lolas. So I'm quite often on there reminding myself to be accountable for what I need to be accountable for. Now I also have recommended yarn. So this post actually went into the group yesterday. So just after the 15th, somewhere between the 15th and the 20th, I will post what yarn we need to have for the next project. So this gives you an opportunity to decide if you can raid your stash and use something there, because you don't have to use the same yarn I use. Everyone has their own yarn preferences, but I will give you suggestions for what you can use. So some projects are much nicer with a cotton, so I will say use a cotton. Some will use any fiber at all, so I will say whatever fiber you want. I'll just recommend the weight and the yarn, but even some of those you can use a different weight. So even like this hat, it was a worsted weight or a 10 ply, but there's enough instruction in the pattern that if you wanted to use a different yarn, you can actually switch it up to whatever yarn you've got. You might want to use a finer yarn or a chunkier yarn. But I do give instructions. So you get to use up your stash, or you get to go buy a yarn that you want to use. And you don't have to have it there for the first of the month when the projects come out. You can wait until you've seen the project. You can wait until you've played with project one and decide if you do want to make the bigger project. So there's no stress, but it helps you learn exactly what it is that you want to make and will enjoy making, and what you want to spend your money and time on. As far as yarn as well. So you don't have to stick. Because I know with the subscription boxes where you get the yarn and the project sent to you, I was subscribed to about 5 of those at one stage. And I can tell you, I even designed for one of them a few times. I've never made the projects except for the ones I designed. I just stashed the yarn. They were pretty. I loved getting them, but I really wasn't wanting to make the projects. But you get to play around. You get to decide what works for you and what doesn't. And celebrate the month. So we always need to remember to celebrate. Doesn't matter how big or small. We need to acknowledge our achievements. And it doesn't even have to be crochet related. It could be home related, work related, health related, anything. We're here to celebrate and enjoy our wins from the month, because I think I'm big on celebrating, and I think we forget quite often that we are allowed to celebrate the little things. We can now celebrate. We got through 5 days of challenge. If you only made 1 square this week, you made 1 square. That's something to celebrate. There's always something to celebrate. And yarn review. So I've mentioned this a little bit. So every month I am providing yarn reviews. This is a new inclusion. We've included this in probably the last 12 months. For the exact reason I'm always asked, or I see in the free groups, what yarn do people recommend buying? So this gives you a more structured review so you can decide for yourself if it's going to work for you. So inside the reviews, there's a standard template for them that I follow. So we say you get to look to see how many color options there are, what weight it is, where it's purchased from, postage, because I do a lot of online shopping. Like where I am in Perth, there isn't a lot of yarn options available. So pretty much everything I purchase is online and from all over the world. I don't just buy from Australia. I buy from the UK. I buy from Europe. I've bought from the US, Canada, everywhere. Even New Zealand. Have I bought? I bought from New Zealand through Etsy, I believe. So all over the place. And I say what it's like to work with, what it feels like, because you can't feel the yarn when you're buying online, but I can at least give some overview for you so you can decide if it's what, if it's scratchy, because you don't know if it's a scratchy yarn. Is it soft and squishy? Lots of them are. I'll also say what sort of projects that they're suitable for. So if you're looking for a blanket, you can search through for blanket and decide on what yarn you want. If you want to make a hat, bag, cushion, whatever it is. So I help with that. And so the spreadsheet as well. So the spreadsheet compares, so you can compare on that by weight. You can compare by, see, I rarely buy from Spotlight actually, Jodie. I am not a fan of much of the yarn they supply. But so you got a whole world opening up there, lots and lots. And I'm prepared to pay for it, bring it in, and then you decide. So you don't want to fall for what I've done where I've bought a whole big chunk of stuff and then gone, now what am I going to do with it? You might still do that. It gets very tempting, especially when there's sales. But this will help introduce you to different yarns so you can decide, but I bear the initial expense, so you don't have to worry about that and then find something to do with it, discover you don't like it. I've got plenty in here that I'm working through as yarn reviews, and I'll actually work it into something, so I do play with it and use it. I don't just touch it. I do make something with it. And also those of you that join now, you'll also get, and this is for everyone that's already joined and everyone that joins between now and Monday, you will also get my Iris Goddess of Rainbows pattern. Now, if I stop sharing, I was also going to go and show you into the actual behind the scenes on the website. So if you're already a member, you have probably seen this. So let me just get and show you exactly what. So that Iris Goddess, I clicked away from that a bit soon. I designed that with Yasmin from Ballamay Yarns. And so she supplied the yarn preferences and I supplied the pattern, but it was to something she had in her head, so I designed it for her. So we've got a square that turns into lots of squares. You can turn into a blanket. I made a poncho. You can make it into one big blanket, or you can make it with lots of squares, table runner, whatever it is that you want. Now I'm also going to show, if I can get to the right screen, this little window here. Or maybe we'll do this window. I'm going to show inside the Hooked on Crochet Club. So this is a members only portal, and even better news, let me get on the right page so it actually moves. I'm going to be updating this to a new platform which will actually enable even more things, which you can search through video. So if you know that I mentioned something in a video, you can search and you'll be able to find it. So that's coming in the next, should be in by the end of the year if I get my act together. So we'll have overlap with the two portals while we are setting things up, but I'm excited. But for now, this is what we have, and this is awesome. So if you go here, your new member, you'll click on start here, and we've got a whole bunch here of videos to work through so you can find your way around the clubhouse. But we've also got the success path. So there's a little quiz that you can take, and that will help you determine where you are now on the success path and give you some suggestions of what you need to do to keep going along that path. Now, it's a never-ending journey moving through that. And some people have gone backwards sometimes because they've been so caught up with work and whichever that they haven't had so much time. But within here, so you've got all your updates, all our monthly content. So you can see we've got a library here of 3 years worth. So rows, we haven't updated that one yet. That one we need to update. So you can see we've got the current, and then you've got all your past projects. So you can click through on something there. So there's the one that I showed. Hopefully this one works, which was the scrubby. So it shows you what basic stitches you need to know for this one. So if you need to work on those before you start, you can do that. And then there's all the project in there with the video. You've got project 2 and you can download the patterns. And then the square for the month. So everything is there per month. You just click on the picture that you want to play with. And when I get it to the new portal, we'll set it up so that you can search by, so if you want to make a bag, I'll set it up so that you can search by bag. So there's some fun things coming with that one. Show you this. Bella May has beautiful. Yes, I love Bella May's yarn. Sorry, I just saw your comment there. Now, let me go back. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Go back further. But we've also got library here of your basic stitch guide. So if you're new, you can go there for the stitch tutorial, but also the special stitches. So as we build on our special stitches, you can go there and you've got the full tutorials for each one. So some of these are in the, well, they're basically all have been used. So you can go through and you can see. So there's the written tutorial, the picture tutorial, and the video as well. That one doesn't seem to want to jump up right now. But all of this will be transporting all of this into the new thing as well. So you can decide, even just by how it looks, if that's something you want to play with. If you want to start designing, you get to go in there and work on them as well. Got the success path. There's also the Stitches beginner course. So those of you that are brand new to crochet, I have a very detailed course that you can go through as well. And even if you need to brush up, because when we have learned from others, like a friend or a family member, there's probably gaps in your knowledge, which when you fill those gaps, help understand a lot more things as well. But anyway, so that is just a little bit of an introduction there to the Hooked on Crochet Club. So the doors are open now. They close on Monday night. A little banner there if you want to join, and I will share the links all over the place. At the moment, it is $25 Australian a month, which is under $18 US if you're using US dollars, and it's under 15 British pounds if you're using pounds. We've got members from all over the world, and I'm excited to be able to start teaching everyone and introducing new patterns. So the projects always come out on the first of the month, so you don't have to wait for the postal service to deliver them to you. They just turn up. You don't have to stay silent on them until everyone's has been delivered. You get to get excited and start playing with them straight away. I'll always have a live where I introduce them all as well, and give you an overview of what to do with the patterns. But I'm excited for everyone that's going to come and play with us. And yeah, if you've got any questions at any time, do reach out to me and let me know. And I look forward to seeing you join the clubhouse. I'm going to, this room has become a bit of a mess the last few days, and I've tried to introduce new things to it. So I may go and have a look at what I can do there. But anyway, you've got to know, and if you join now, the price that it is what it is going to stay at forever for you while you stay a member. So the prices will be going up in October when the doors open again, because I need to charge what the value you get. So there you go. All right. Look forward to seeing you join. There's the link if you want to go and join. Actually, can I press that? No, I can't. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you inside the Hooked on Crochet Club.